I'm Bridget. They call me Kelly around here. And I traveled to the space shuttle after evict. I am basically considered the bloodline, and some of you might recognize me from Stanford Zone or Cleveland Clinic, with some particulars to Case Western. I have a Medtronics device, and basically the Medtronics device would make STEM faster. I've been dropped off, um, mostly per a Centennial Park, Oregon. The state of Oregon had a fuse bolt uh, at the shore, and we sort of took a trip, journey since, and now I'm returned. To make this short, it's almost as if when Florida turned to its axis, then it feels like, in some retrospect, that only the lights grid is on here, and they could use some telephonic communication over the exon scarcity, and reports earlier of the cruise and steel cruise ships, reports that maybe some of you received in the news. At this point, it's been over 1.5 years I'm on the street, and I have, of course, this video is about a camera implant, and whether it had interfaced with New York studios for Dr. Oz. As if they've saved celebrity doctors for the last hole, on what was ABC, also out of Oregon, for a surgical canister that some of you also may know me from New York, or just simply from Splash and Antella when I was a child at 6 3/4. That's what most people will probably always think of me as, the same 6 3/4 of Madison. So they could use some communication here to port. And many are looking for friends before they went to, say, the Super Bowl game, but mostly it's about the exxon scarcity, as if, again, taking a sip. They're not cooperating. Mostly it's out of the office of Cal Penn that they would intend to trip me across the world. I don't know, but they're not expressing the venue stereotactic. That means I feel I've been responsible enough to reach Western Florida. And at this point, my incoming does not allow the current rent status. Like the rent, let's say an average alone one-bedroom apartment is $1,400 a month. Then I only receive about $1,200. This is reduced this year with a post office box only, so that I won't get the Medicare savings plan. It's like if you don't have that, then maybe not the prescription ad. So that I've attempted to check in is also based in coalition of like Tillerson. Tillerson is a judge, or Tillerson is the Secretary of State with Kerry, or what confusion, what CTGN. Well, the thing is that, or the trial idea is that it isn't a trial, that you have me on video surveillance. So that's why I wanted to talk about. I wonder, if agency is considering the swallow of these little tiny cameras. This did partake at Stanford Hospital. What I'm supposed to say is this was the quad area of Stanford, or like a missing piece or connector that I've always lived on some kind of aisle, or this puzzle here, it's a ship. It would technically fit under the categorical in Havana, um, though it does seem to have an anchor attachment, and sometimes you would be able to feel the movement. Anyway, this is a lot of a stretch to find intercept on cyber. How exciting for this bill, not under the spending bill, this one that passed. So that would bring me up to date on current news. I attempted to um, move through Georgetown and would be interested in some Delaware understanding and District of Columbia for a couple of shout outs to Lou Soprano, who I think I saw on the TV television as injured. So I've been trying to go to Washington, D.C., and I wanted something temporary to find a place in Washington, D.C., of course. But I cannot get into Washington, D.C. proper. And so where you ask, like, for cyber advice, it's like I don't comprehend the intercepts to, say, a tape from previous. It's like you're trying to tell me that it's okay they have a magnet in Lake Tahoe or something. It's like, well, if you think about it, you want me to pretend with my P.O. box or whatever to check in for an X-ray visionary. Uh, anyway, I had plenty more to say, but mostly it's not missable, it's inclement. Okay, it's so painful because of the weather, or a mite, that this. I haven't been to the space shuttle, but I'm sort of surrounded to it. When we move to electromagnetisms. So I wanted to say I haven't had employment for unemployment, but I think what you want to consider